Bad Blood has returned after nearly 21 years, or actually after nearly 20 years. All three of them had cell matches, and for the most part, I'd say, all three of them brought closure to said feud. It's been a while since Bad Blood's been around, 21 years obviously, so WWE's gonna change it. This event wasn't exactly hyped for me personally. I wasn't very interested in many of the matches on here. I was looking forward to some of the implications, especially the Hell in a Cell match. Like, that was obviously interesting to me, but other than that, I just didn't care much about the matches here. It was a star-studded night. There was a bunch of celebrities around, you know, Atlanta rap icons. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair hosted the show, but they didn't hover over the show much. A lot of legends on here, you know, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, half of the original Four Horsemen, Diamond Dallas Page, Bill Goldberg, Scott Steiner, Mickey James. They had a lot of people around here. Alright, I don't want to waste time, let's get into it. Okay, the first match on the show was a Hell in a Cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, a feud that needed a structure like Hell in a Cell to end it. Punk and McIntyre's feud dominated TV time throughout the year, and week after week it would slightly increase and top its previous trajectory. It clearly needed an ending, a proper ending to wrap it up, and Hell in a Cell was the answer. This match was filled to the top with the violence. It's one of the most violent WWE matches seen in years. I can't really think of many that brought it like this one. Punk and McIntyre didn't really hit wrestling moves until the final part of the match, and that tells you all you need to know about it. It brought the best qualities in CM Punk, his true potential during this era of his. In AEW, it's well known that his final form always comes out during violent matches. WWE seemed to notice that here and basically gave him the free reign to create an absolute war-like match. Drew's performance shouldn't be understated at all. This man was a cold-blooded heathen who only intensified under the structure. The regular Cell was back as well, which helps slightly, but other than that, I didn't think anyone had a chance of topping this because it was a full-on fight and paced and done in a certain way where it was the finale. They gave it their all out there. Blood, sweat, and tears. The blood was a welcome surprise that ironically added more color and respect to this match. I feel like, why do you mean ironically? Because blood is color technically. Storytelling was good. They weren't holding back punches. They brought wrenches, beads, tables, and I was all for it. Did I laugh when McIntyre brought out that bag? Yeah. I did think it was kind of goofy, but it is in the storyline. It's told in the story, obviously. He's trying to remind him of his family, the bracelet he ripped and all that, but just wanted to mention it. CM Punk scored the victory after bringing out his very worst, and my favorite part was him grabbing that wrench and using it as a weapon. I liked that, and his emotion got the best of him. Drew was too busy dealing with mind games that he didn't realize that a part of that would fuel CM Punk and get him to victory. It did, and once he got out of there, the moment he got out, he collapsed. That in itself tremendously sold what Hell in a Cell should be about. It brought a certain level of legitimacy and honor back to Hell in a Cell, and again, we've seen it throughout the years. You know, obviously some Cell matches would not deliver that much, but when they do, they were great. This one is obviously the latter. It was wonderful. It was one of the best executed Cell matches, and definitely one of the best ones in recent years. Easily one of the best ones in recent years, because it did its job. It was a finale. It was a big feud. It sold everything that the feud should be about. Okay, the next match was the WWE Women's Championship. Nia Jax defended the title against Bayley. So Nia's comeback run has resulted in plenty of success and prominence. I didn't think it would be that way. Not even close. Bayley was stuck in between the drama between Miss Money in the Bank Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. As for this match, it wasn't perfect. Obviously, there was moments, of course, there, but I personally thought it was better than SummerSlam. It wasn't a favorite match of mine on the show, but it had higher work rate and more effort put into it. Bayley felt way more lively here as opposed to SummerSlam. Nia was trying out different stuff. The story with Stratton clearly played a huge part here, but I noticed that they worked really hard to get the crowd into after that Cell match. The result was clear as day. I didn't doubt for a second that Nia would lose. Obviously, didn't think Stratton would cash in here. She tried to initially, but felt bad about it. Nia didn't see it that way and ended up finishing her work herself. But more tension between Miss Money in the Bank and the Women's Champion. Obviously, they're going to drag this storyline because long-term stuff, obviously. Doesn't mean that's a bad thing, obviously. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be long-term. Bayley delivered here. I don't know what they're going to do with her from here on. Maybe she's going to do something with Naomi for a bit before they feud, of course. So we'll see. The next match was between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Plenty of jealousy and contempt for Damian Priest. Finn didn't like the fact that his title opportunity a year ago was ruined and had a lot of resentment stemming from this. This match didn't have too much hype behind it. Not as much as you'd think it would have, seeing as they were former partners in the Judgment Day. Also, the match was sponsored by the new Dragon Ball Z game, which is the most interesting part of the match to some people on Twitter. I thought that was a bit unfortunate. Not the sponsorship, but the fact that most of the talk I saw about this match today was the fact that it was sponsored by the new Dragon Ball Z game, so I was like, damn. The match wasn't that big. It felt like a Raw main event. I didn't even expect much from it, unfortunately, because Priest feels like he's been miles above Balor in the booking, so it's like we have to make believe he's actually gonna win. I didn't have much to say about this one because the feud hasn't been interesting to me. I don't see Finn Balor as a threat at all, unfortunately, and that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. Priest won here. He beat him. They're probably gonna drag it to Survivor Series, but only time will tell. I just don't have much to say about it because it's not as big as a feud as it should be. It does not feel like that at all. If it happened last year and they were in different roles, I'd see it differently, but it wasn't. So yeah. Triple H presented the Crown Jewel Championship. Basically, the men and women's world champions face each other in singles matches with the winner holding that belt. I don't like this at all because it doesn't need to happen. It's unnecessary and brings a lot of complicated decisions. One of your champions has to look better. It's not about like caring about booking or whatever. I just don't feel like hearing about people saying Gunther lost or Cody Rhodes. Like, that match, it's gonna be good. I like the action though. It looks like Rhodes and Gunther are gonna face off, which sounds very interesting to me. I actually thought it'd go down differently. And who knows, maybe it'll serve as a precursor for their future feud. It'll be good. It's gonna be a good match. I'm interested in that. I just don't like the idea because they always do those cop-out decisions. I just don't like cop-out decisions at all. Liv and Nia seems different though. I think they'll actually have a result to it if it happens, a clean one. But we'll see. They teased a potential Gunther and Goldberg match with the world champion saying he hopes that Goldberg is a better father than he is a wrestler. He almost had a fight with him, but security blocked him. You know for a fact that Goldberg of 2003 would shove all of them and push them away like tree leaves. It's clear as day. Sami Zayn took advantage of this, and the takeaway from this segment is that Saudi Arabia are still going crazy with the offers. Goldberg just might get his match sooner rather than later, and if it was 2021, I'd be worried, but I'm sure it won't end in a shock result. Other than that, it might be his final match ever, and if there's one man on the roster that could do something with him, it's the ring general. Once they showed Goldberg in the audience, I was like thinking to myself, how would a Gunther and Bill Goldberg match go? Because it seems a bit complicated. Their styles are very, very different, so it's weird to even think about. We'll see how it goes though. The next match is the Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan defends the title against Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio in a Shark Tank. This story feels weird. It feels like the intensity softens as time goes on rather than the opposite. I don't feel that interested in it at the moment. Dom is the real star of the story, but his comedy inclusion somewhat affects it because Liv and Rhea obviously have enough story as it is. Obviously thought like, oh, maybe they're gonna do the whole cheating thing and then it gets serious and then the focus is more on Liv Morgan and the World Championship, which it doesn't feel like. It does not feel like it's the main focus, unfortunately. There's nothing I could take serious with him here, but this man is very entertaining. I hope the Intercontinental Championship is in his future. It would be great. As for this match, I actually didn't hate it as much as others. It's just the ending was a bit like out there. Other than that, Rhea was still on Dom's ass at this point. I know someone's gonna comment, what? There was one point where I thought Dom was done. It was scary. Rhea once again gave him a beating, but this is where things got awkward. Raquel Rodriguez returned and destroyed her, leading to the DQ finish, which shouldn't have been the case. She even laid Liv on top of Rhea as if she's gonna pin her, but you guys know how it was. She's back in the enforcer role as she was in NXT. I get it because Liv is small and trying to be one of those cowardly heels. It makes sense, but I low-key wish they phased Dom away so we could do other things. It served him well to piss off some other people on the roster. The feud is left open with Rhea Ripley because of her star power, but I think the end is near. And the main event, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes face Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. So this match has taken over the main event spot. I don't think they had much of a claim to main event, but the ending clearly told us a different story. The thing is, Cody didn't really need to be involved with the bloodline again. It's often been a crutch of his throughout the months because it takes away a bit from his title reign. Plus, why would Cody want to help Roman, who did so much against him for the last 2 years? But he's a babyface, so you guys know how it is. Bigger enemy in front of us as storyline. You guys know how that happens. You guys know how it is. So he's gonna be like, oh, I don't like them, you don't like them, let's team up. Other than that, this main event wasn't a favorite of mine. It took too long to get going and didn't have much of a distinctive element to it, which a lot of us expected because it's a bloodline match. It went for about 30 minutes, which is far too much screen time for Solo Sikoa. They did go crazy later on and that saves it, but other than the fact that Roman and Cody absolutely piss on the heels' positions and aura, I don't really have much to say about this match. It could have been shorter, it could have happened on SmackDown, and yeah, Roman and Cody is a big partnership, but I'd care for it being on a pay-per-view if the opponents felt like they were on their level in some ways. We obviously know why this match happened. Jimmy Uso finally returned and TikTok most definitely went crazy for this. He took out everyone like his name was Roman Reigns, and this led to the victory. A positive thing I'll say about this match is that it's about time we got to see Roman more explosive and as a babyface. He has a lot to offer in that role, and Roman felt like he finished his job with Cody, but after some convincing from Jimmy, he saved him from an attack, and this is when Roman teased going after the title. All of a sudden, electricity bolts the arena. Plenty of aura and star power descends upon Atlanta. A night full of star power, but the best had yet to come. The Rock. He came out with that honorary title like he accomplished something. Technically, I'd be holding that around if it was given to me as a gift from the Ali family. And there was an unreal reaction from the crowd. A true megastar in every sense of the word had returned, and everyone was all for it because Rock is the final boss. It's not just a term. He always was the guy to watch out for in the Bloodline story for 4 years now, and it feels like that's going to come to a head. The question is, how will WWE go about it? Will he want to take out Roman once and for all, or solidify his role as the anointed leader of the family by taking away the title from Cody Rhodes? And then we have Kevin Owens turning heel randomly after the show. It happened outside the arena, and he just hopped in his car like nothing nothing happened. I obviously get why that main evented. The Hell in a Cell deserved it, but it is what it is. Alright, that's Bad Blood. This event was, it just happened, honestly. You know, like, we're not gonna remember much from it, barring the beginning and the end. Literally, that's it. All I'm gonna remember is the Hell in a Cell match and Rock's return. That's all it's gonna be. Is that a problem? Not really. I just don't like how WWE constantly has to do the 5-match thing like their UFC. UFC has preliminary fights, they have pre-shows, they have plenty of fights before the show, so it's not actually 5 matches. Obviously, the main card is 5 matches. They gotta add more to the pay-per-views. All I'm seeing right now is that it's a walking advertisement. I see Prime everywhere. My eyes are freaking burning from the sight of Prime. I go to sleep, I see Prime. I wake up, I see Prime. I don't care about Prime. That's what the pay-per-views feel like in a nutshell, unfortunately. They drag them constantly. They do the commercials. They glaze themselves weird. 60th sellout show, this and that. Like, bro, I just want to see wrestling, bro. And this show didn't provide too much of that, unfortunately, but it wasn't a terrible show, obviously. WWE, they don't really do bad pay-per-views at the moment. They haven't done bad pay-per-views in about like 4 years, but I don't even remember. Yeah, the show had a great start and great finish. That's what people are going to remember the most. So yeah. Alright, what you guys think of Bad Blood 2024? Please comment down below, and that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the GTS on the like button and perhaps the rock bottom on the subscribe button. Peace, I'm out.